Josh, right in front of you here. That was quite the knockout. I mean, just talk us through it, what you were seeing in there and how you were able to land, such a clean shot on Ricardo.
Like I've been saying all night, man, that's Joey Rodriguez boxing at its finest. I've been working with my boxing coach for, almost going on 5 years, and I've been working, just watching film with, my coaches Felipe, Danny, Joey, and Uriah, and we've been breaking down Lamas's kind of style. And I've had two teammates and a coach that have fought him, so that really played well into my favor as well. So I was hoping to lure him into my game, and that's just like an all-out brawl where I can roll and land punches, or if I could drag him in coming in, I could catch him with that check hook. So he threw the leg kick. He was trying to beat up my the shins. It seems like everyone's trying to do that now, since the Stevenson and Melendez fight. Everyone's doing it. And so I ate that to throw overhand right, and then I just came back with that check hook and found the chin.
Yeah, and he was down for a while after the punch landed. What's going through your mind at that point when he's not getting up for a few minutes after the knockout?
Yeah, it's a little tough to watch. Afterwards I was really excited that I got the win, of course. But then when I see him down there still, and he has a wife and kids, and just his family's here, so like I wish that on nobody. So it's kind of, I don't know, I can't really celebrate too much when I see something like that.
Yeah, and when we spoke to you earlier this week, you seemed pretty confident you were going to make the weight on short notice. Obviously that didn't happen. Can you just tell us where things went wrong during the weight cut?
Yeah, it was just that 3-week notice. I guess I can't take short notice fights like that. I'll take 4 to 5 weeks out. So like I said before, I apologize for not making them wait. I was right on track, and then it was just with the time frame I had left, I knew there was no possible way that I could make it within that time. I just stopped sweating. I didn't have enough time to water load. Yeah, I just messed up, but I take full credit for that, and it won't happen again.
There you go. And last thing from me, just where do you go from here? You just knocked out, top 3 guy, former title challenger. How do you, one up this one going forward?
My goal is to be a world champion, so I one up that when I get that title around my waist. But yeah, I don't know. I knew I could go in there. I would beat him. I knew I could if I just one punch, like I've been saying. And a lot of these naysayers and haters out there, like, I guess you never landed a clean punch in the UFC yet, but hey, I guess I found it today.
Josh, when we spoke earlier on in the week, I know it's a little cliche to compare, a fighter story to Rocky, especially in this sport. But you did bring it up, short notice, perhaps relatively unknown to the masses. But did it all come out and play out in fruition in terms of that kind of story that you had in your mind, comparing it to Rocky? Yeah, of course. I was the underdog going into this, so I said, hey, this is a real-life Rocky story right here, and who doesn't love the underdog? So a lot of people would be cheering for me and rooting for me, of course, and it'll be a true rags to riches American dream when I get that title around my waist. Did the fact that obviously you missed weight, did it take the edge off the win or the performance for you personally?
For me, man, that was when I knew I wasn't going to make the weight. And I was working so hard to do it. We were going to keep going, but it was my coach's call. They kind of saw what I was going through. I wasn't sweating. They knew it wasn't going to work out. So it was their call. They said, hey, that's stop now. That's you're not going to make the weight. And to me, man, I was disappointed. That's the first time I've ever missed weight, and I've wrestled since I was a little kid, wrestled through college, all my fights, I've never missed weight. So it almost felt like a loss to me. Like I was really disappointed. I didn't even want to go in, the weigh-ins from 9 to 11. We figured this out about 9:30. I was like, can we at least wait? But we went in there and we weighed in at 9:30, and I just felt, man, I don't know, I was just so disappointed, more disappointed than anybody. And like I said, it won't happen again.
Something else we spoke about on Media Day was the idea that typically ranked fighters are looking ahead. And for unranked fighters, it's really hard to get an opportunity to fight someone with a number next to their name, let alone someone in the top 5. So given that, Ricardo, gave this opportunity for you, would you perhaps entertain a rematch with him where you can put in a full camp and give him an opportunity to perhaps, get one back? Oh,
of course. He did this for me. He didn't have to take this fight. You know, he's one of the best guys in the world. It was risky for him. You know, he could sit back and he could probably wait for Edgar Holloway fight and then get a title shot, or fight Ortega, and the winner of that get a title fight. So I'm truly grateful for him accepting the fight, and then as well as even with me missing the weight, he still took it. I had to give up 30% of my purse, so that's more than normal. So that's you know, I think I paid the price for that, and I got excluded from the performance bonuses. But you know, if there's a exception that the UFC or Dana White can do, I'll gladly take that $50,000 bonus. And you know what I mean? It's Christmas coming up. My wife and I, we're about to, a week from today, we'll be landing in Rome to visit my brother in the military. Hey, I wanted to, you know, take him out as well, because he's going to show us around, and we're going to one of his award ceremonies, because he's getting out of the military soon, and he's done some good things. So I'm excited to be out there with my wife and my brother, and just have a great time.
And the final one from me. The Canadian fans are a special breed. Can you just sum up your experience here this week in Winnipeg, and also being able to fight in front of them tonight here in Winnipeg?
Yeah, they were great. You know, the Canadian fans. It reminds me a little bit of the European fans. You know, they're like super fans. They're in the arena's packed, all sold out. The first fight, you know, they're just super respectful, and I've had a great time in Winnipeg despite the cold. You know, and a lot of people from Winnipeg are like, oh, it's warm out here. You know, I'm like, this is not warm. It's 8 degrees. Like. But then that's when they're talking. It's usually negative 40 or 30 or something like that. But when we left Sacramento, man, it was 52 degrees, and I was like, this is cold. And man, it shocked me when I got off the plane. All righty.
Thank you, Josh.
Cool. Thank you guys.